Boom. Transfer market updates are back, and it's quite a big one, because up to now we've had transfer market updates about players which are not really a part of Mourinho's Roma in a way. This time it's Mkhitaryan's turn. Mkhitaryan could be leaving AS Roma in January. Now, it might be a shock to many people, including me, when I read this, because Mkhitaryan is, classified in AS Roma's top players squad. So, having Mkhitaryan out of your squad in January, might be a big risk, because you obviously need to replace him, because, once the January transfer market session is over, you've got very important months coming up. You've got the most significant months of trying to achieve your objectives. So, Mkhitaryan is, there are rumors saying that he could be leaving AS Roma in January. Now, when it comes to economic factors, I do think this is a bonus for Roma. Now, I'm not saying Mkhitaryan is not good. This is not what I am saying. But what I'm saying here is that selling Mkhitaryan would obviously be an economic bonus, for AS Roma, who, as I repeat in every live stream, is not a rich club in compared to other clubs around us. So selling Mkhitaryan would provide you with quite a fair amount of money, which then you can spend in the sections where you actually need players. And what comes to mind in my head is the defensive section. We probably need another centre back. We need players who give more assistance to Abraham, and we need a defensive midfielder section. But the fact that Switzerland, got first in their group stage, in the World Cup qualifier group stage, and with some incredible Zakaria performances, means that, big clubs have pointed their eyes on Zakaria. So that's another negative factor. So selling Mkhitaryan would definitely be a plus, a bonus when it comes to the economy of Roma. Because, clubs will buy Mkhitaryan from you from quite a good price. And up to now, Mkhitaryan is interested especially in one country. And this country is Russia. Zenit St. Petersburg and what's the other one? Lokomotiv Moscow are both interested in Mkhitaryan. And according to Mkhitaryan, a move to Russia would not disappoint him. However, he is going to prioritize ending his contract and ending his potential career at Roma. I'm not sure if he's going to end his career at Roma, but Mkhitaryan has said it many times that one of his big objectives now is to end his contract at Roma and to try and win something with AS Roma. And now, today especially, we've got a bunch of rumors from journalists, Sky Sports, many sources saying that Mkhitaryan could leave Roma in January. And, it's more of a yes than a no. Because I think the Fredkins, Mourinho and Pinto understood that, as I was saying before, the money that you can get from the Mkhitaryan deal, from the process of selling Mkhitaryan could benefit your club even more. And I think Mourinho knows this, and Mourinho is intrigued by this. Because, if we compare Mkhitaryan to what he was with Fonseca, Mkhitaryan is nowhere near what he was with Fonseca. As you can see from the graph on your screen, Mkhitaryan played 15 matches, including Serie A, Europa Conference League and Europa Conference League qualifiers, and scored only twice and provided only 3 assists. Last season, Mkhitaryan was one of the top scorers at AS Roma. He bagged so many goals. So going from a boom season to a down season is a problem. And I think it's a problem according to Mourinho. Because according to Mourinho, Mourinho, when he was called as a Roma manager at first, he expected Mkhitaryan playing like he was playing with Fonseca. Unfortunately, Mkhitaryan, and I think we can say this out loud, has been one of the few players, not maybe one of the few, one out of the 4 players we can say, which has surprised us the least. And if you compare, their attitude to football matches to what they did last season, Mkhitaryan is arguably, but possibly, the worst this season. Because scoring only 2 goals in 3 competitions over almost halfway through the season is not good. It's actually not good, because 2 goals is nothing, especially for someone who is part of your attacking section. Someone who's part of your attacking sections, the only word that you can use to define them is goals galore. Mkhitaryan is unfortunately not giving this to us. He's not giving this impression at all in this in this first half. We're not halfway through, but in this first, coming towards halfway through the season, it's not looking good. And this is why I'm saying that selling Mkhitaryan, if he keeps on playing like this, would be a massive benefit. Because, realistically speaking, okay, Mkhitaryan is coming towards the end of his career, but, he will cost around 15 million, 10 being the minimum. 10 being the minimum? Yeah, I think Mkhitaryan costs 10, even 15 million euros. I think with those 15 or those 10 million euros, Roma can buy young players, younger players, not just young players, younger but experienced players, which can benefit your club. And in this case, can benefit many sections throughout AS Roma. Welcome to the stream, everyone, by the way. Why not you reply if we criticize Pellegrini and Zaniolo? Mate, I'm sorry I've not been replying to comments much lately because I've actually been very, very busy with my schoolwork. In fact, as you probably saw, I wasn't live streaming every day in this last week because I'm actually focusing on my schoolwork as well. But I'll be back. Now I'm back, and there will be a live stream a day. I'll try my best now to stream once a day, and that will be the case, just like it was at the start of the season. But speaking about Mkhitaryan as well, I think Mkhitaryan, Mourinho understood that he needs more from Mkhitaryan. At the end of the day, Mkhitaryan is an attacker. Mkhitaryan is part of your attacking section. And unfortunately, he's just not giving that goals impression to us right now at all. And I think that's what Mkhitaryan really needs to focus on. Something else I've noticed about Mkhitaryan in this first half of the season, coming towards halfway, is that Mkhitaryan is the chemistry Mkhitaryan has with other players is not great. The only chemistry you can see between Mkhitaryan and someone else is with Pellegrini. You will never, and we've rarely seen Mkhitaryan giving balls to Abraham. We've always seen more of a Pellegrini giving balls to Abraham. I think, the good word to describe Mkhitaryan right now is absent. He is absent to football matches. And this is exactly why in the last match against Venezia, Mourinho prioritized El Shaarawy. Against AC Milan, Mkhitaryan played, but got subbed off. Against Napoli, Mkhitaryan got subbed off. Against Cagliari, Mkhitaryan got subbed off. Mkhitaryan, if last season Mkhitaryan was playing really well, now he's absent. And he's getting this trend of maybe not starting from the start, but if he is starting from the start, he's definitely not played a full match not a short time ago. So, I think Mkhitaryan is a great player. Mkhitaryan last season was one of the best players at Roma, if not the best. But obviously, Mkhitaryan is being affected by age as well. He is coming towards the end of his career. So obviously we can't expect him to become the new Cristiano Ronaldo. But I do expect him to score more goals and to provide a tiny bit more assists. Another thing is that Mkhitaryan is not fast at all. And, the second you play against someone like Theo Hernandez from AC Milan, you vanish away. Because Theo Hernandez is like Lewis Hamilton on a Formula 1 car in compared to Mkhitaryan. So, I don't think Mkhitaryan is on a great form. I don't think Mkhitaryan is 100% fit. This doesn't mean that Mkhitaryan doesn't deserve to have any more chances. In fact, this is the opposite. Mkhitaryan not performing well should be an alarm in Mourinho's head going, I gotta sort this problem. I need to sort this problem, otherwise Mkhitaryan's value will drop even more, and the next team which buys Mkhitaryan from me, will pay him at a very much lower price, and I don't benefit anything from it. So Mourinho needs to be good in regenerating Mkhitaryan, not just because regenerating Mkhitaryan could mean something positive to Roma, but because regenerating Mkhitaryan would avoid his value to drop, meaning that if other teams want him, in this case Russian clubs are interested in him, Zenit, St. Petersburg, are first in the list, we need to pay more money. And that will be amazing, because with that money, then Roma can improve and detail out each other section, where they need more assistance. And as I said before, these sections are a centre-back, the defensive section is to improve, a defensive midfielder is needed, and someone who gives more assistance to Abraham to play next to Pellegrini, and which would replace Mkhitaryan in this case, is needed as well. Now, we talked about Mkhitaryan, so I think that we've got positives more than negatives. I know Mkhitaryan is a great player, which, is a top player at Roma, but I can see many, many positives coming out from selling Mkhitaryan. Now, the last thing I want to talk about before ending the stream is Darboe. Darboe has basically renewed his contract with AS Roma. Now, there were rumors saying that Darboe might go on a loan this summer, or maybe January. I highly doubt he'll go on a loan in January, but there have been rumors saying that Darboe could go on a loan to get more experience, come back to Roma, and be the new N'Golo Kante. Hashtag Darboe, the new Kante. So that could be the case, and I do think that would be actually quite good, because, the experience which Darboe lacks, he can get from other clubs and bring it back to Roma, and I totally agree on that. But I really want to give a massive shout out to the Fredkins and Thiago Pinto for basically renewing Darboe's contract. Darboe is the future of AS Roma. And if AS Roma and the Fredkins sell Darboe, you just classified as an absolute dickhead. You cannot sell, and you could not have sold Darboe for anyone. Even if they offered Kante for Darboe, yeah, maybe Kante, but if they offered someone else for Darboe, no. Darboe has got at least 30 years of football action in his legs. This guy can be the new flag at AS Roma. If he builds the experience, if he builds the solidity, if he builds the momentum, first of all, Mourinho will start him instead of Cristante, which in matches like Venezia was absolutely atrocious. And starting over Cristante would allow you to grow even more, and would produce such a star of a player. So renewing Darboe's contract is such an important thing, and congratulations for the Fredkins. Because if James Pallotta was sitting on the AS Roma president chair, you know what he would have done is, oh yeah, money's coming to me, let's sell Darboe. Because I want to point out something. Just to prove that Pallotta is the most son of a bitch anyone could possibly imagine. If it wasn't for this guy, if it wasn't for Pallotta selling so many players at Roma, this would be the current AS Roma squad. Alisson Becker in goal. Rudiger, Manolas, who do we have? Spinazzola, which obviously we didn't sell, but this would be the general lineup. Spinazzola, Rudiger, Marquinhos, and would be in the defensive section. Nainggolan, Strootman, oh my god, Salah up front, maybe Dzeko you could keep. This team would seriously compete for a Serie A title. Oh, yes. But definitely, if not for Champions League, definitely for Europa League spot. And definitely for Europa League title. If it was, how much James Pallotta has ruined AS Roma is just I could spend 24 hours talking about this and would probably cover half of the content I need to say. The only thing to understand is that James Pallotta has absolutely ruined AS Roma. So a problem that the Fredkins are having, Thiago Pinto is having, and Mourinho, is having right now, is that they need to rebuild from scratch because of an absolute dickhead who the only thing he cared about was to get those dollars in his pocket. So the fact that the Fredkins chose Mourinho is to try and rebuild everything because they know that Mourinho is the perfect guy to do this. So, if this is another thing responding to Roma, Mourinho, anyone hating about AS Roma, any person, any player, any staff member who has come right now to AS Roma has found themselves in an absolute chaos, in a sea storm, in an absolute hurricane. Rebuilding from scratch is a massive job, and we definitely cannot expect things, to win the Serie A title, to win the Europa League, a few years after Pallotta left, because what he left is an absolute disgrace and should literally be abolished from football just because it's out of the mind. I cannot, us Roma fans cannot see the mess this guy left at AS Roma is on another world. As I said before, we could spend hours and hours and days speaking about this. But what these players are finding themselves now to do is to rebuild from scratch. And if you ask me, it's one hell of a tough job. So, Mkhitaryan, selling Mkhitaryan would be another step of improving. I know that there are many Mkhitaryan fans out there. I'm a Mkhitaryan fan myself. But unfortunately, Roma needs to rebuild from young players, just like Barcelona is doing. Yeah, okay, they bought Dani Alves, who is an absolute rat bag right now, but, you get the point. We need to rebuild. And we need to rebuild from young players. So selling Mkhitaryan, as much as it would be, bad because we love Mkhitaryan, would be a bonus when it comes to the rebuilding of this squad. Because the more we rebuild, the more likely we are to win something. Ladies and gentlemen, I will catch you tomorrow with Alex with our Genoa preview. So stay tuned. If you're new here, please subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. It takes 2 seconds and it supports all of us so much. Follow me here on Instagram at _the Simon Show. Did I say like this live stream as soon as it becomes a video? If I didn't, please do it and I'll catch you tomorrow. Good night, take care, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Simon out.